How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Vince Carter officially announced his full retirement from professional basketball at 43 years old after 22 seasons of amazing draw-dropping plays, especially during his Raptors and Nets days, one of the most exciting players all time. The last man to say his goodbyes, drafted in the 90s, every player in the 2004 All-Star game had been retired. Here are the last players to retire from every draft class drafted between 1980 to 2002. 1980 draft, one Hall of Famer from this class, Dikembe Mutombo, the third pick, didn't last the longest despite playing the most minutes, 13 seasons, 971 regular season games, but 35th pick Rick Mahorn had an 18-year career as a solid role player, over 1100 regular season games, played for 4 different franchises, lasted till 40 years old in the 99 season. Number 1 pick Joe Barry Carroll played just 10 seasons. 1981, the 13th pick Danny Shaves tied with 14th pick Herb Williams, each 18 seasons. Williams lasted the longest since he played for the Knicks in the 99 finals at age 41, but Buck Williams played the most games, 1,307, 17 seasons. The third pick, the best player in this class was Isaiah Thomas, played just 13 seasons, same amount as the first overall pick Mark Aguirre. 1982 draft, Terry Cummings out of DePaul, the second pick, one of the most forgotten greats of the 80s, 18 seasons, a 16-point career scorer, made 2 All-NBA teams, last played for the Warriors in 2000, while third pick Dominique Wilkins played the most minutes, fewer games than Cummings, 15 seasons. Number 1 pick James Worthy lasted just 12 seasons. 1983, the 9th pick Dale Ellis gets the edge over Mark West, played his final game 9 days after West, the 30th pick. Both played 17 seasons. Ellis, a one-time All-Star, averaged 15.7 points for his career. Clyde Drexler, the best player in this class, 15 seasons. First pick Ralph Sampson, just 9 years, derailed by injuries. 1984, one of the best draft classes ever. Surprisingly, the answer is not John Stockton or Michael Jordan. Both retired in 03, Stockton 19 seasons, Jordan just 15 since he came back from 2 retirements. Although Stockton did play the most games, the answer will shock you. Kevin Willis, the 11th pick out of Michigan State, 21 seasons. The former All-Star became the second oldest player to play in the game at 44 years old, 5 games for the 07 Mavs, suited up for 8 different teams, currently 9th in all-time games played, while first pick Hakeem Olajuwon played 18 seasons, second pick Sam Bowie just lasted 10. 1985, Karl Malone, the 13th pick out of Louisiana Tech, retired as the second all-time leading scorer, 11 All-NBA first teams, over 54,000 regular season minutes, consistent year in and year out, 19 seasons, the same amount as 9th overall pick Charles Oakley, but Oak only played 7 games in 2004. Malone did appear in the 04 playoffs for the Lakers, both 40 years old when they retired, while first overall pick Patrick Ewing played 17 seasons. 1986, nearly a tie between 15th pick Del Curry and 29th pick Johnny Newman. Neither one of them became All-Stars, lasted 16 seasons. Curry last played for the Raptors in the 02 playoffs, last game May 2nd, 2002. Newman's last game exactly a week later, May 9th of 02, when he was with the Mavs against the Kings. Newman was 38, Curry 37, both terrific role players, while number 1 pick Brad Daugherty played just 8 seasons, forced to retire at 28. Only one Hall of Famer in this draft, the 27th pick Dennis Rodman. 1987, Reggie Miller, the 11th pick, a very good class with 7 All-Stars. The sharpshooter spent all 18 seasons with the Pacers until 2005, averaged over 18 points for his career, 1,389 games, 90 more than Mark Jackson. First pick David Robinson played 14 seasons, served in the military for 2 years after being drafted. Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant 17 seasons. 1988, Ross Strickland, picked by the Knicks 19 overall out of DePaul, 17 seasons, almost 1,100 games, one of the best players to never make an All-Star team and a very underrated playmaker, played for 9 different teams, while 4 other players tied with the second longest career from this class, each played 15 seasons, one of them including first overall pick Danny Manning. The 1989 draft, second round pick 36 overall, Clifford Robinson out of UConn, 18 seasons in the NBA, nicknamed Uncle Cliffy. The 6'10" big man would be perfect for today's game as a stretch 4 or 5, made 2 defensive teams, one-time All-Star, averages over 14 points for his career, 1,380 games, retired in 2007 at age 40 with the Nets, one of 5 teams he's played for. 16 pick Vlade Divac lasted the second longest, 16 seasons. First pick Purvis Ellison, just 11 7 seasons. 1990, Gary Payton, the 2nd overall pick out of Oregon State. Still the only point guard in league history to win Defensive Player of the Year, spent 17 seasons in the NBA. The 9-time All-Star still made a huge impact in the 06 finals. His second to last year, winning his only title, only player to make the Hall of Fame in this class, very solid career numbers of over 16 points, 4 rebounds, 6.7 assists, almost 2 steals. First overall pick Derek Coleman lasted 15 seasons, tied with the second longest from this draft. The 1991 class, 4th overall pick Dikembe Mutombo out of Georgetown, 18 seasons in the league, a defensive specialist, one of the best shot blockers all time, an 8-time All-Star, won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, averaged almost 10 points, over 10 rebounds, nearly 3 blocks, played for 6 different teams. While first pick Larry Johnson lasted just 10 seasons, Dikembe is the only Hall of Famer from his class. 1992, not a surprise, 1st overall pick Shaquille O'Neal, 19 seasons, despite never playing all 82 games and banged up throughout his career, the most dominating force of the 90s and 2000s, the 15-time All-Star, averaged almost 24 points, 11 rebounds, 4 titles, an MVP winner, 8 All-NBA first teams, one of the 10 greatest players all time. Him and 2nd overall pick Alonzo Mourning in the Hall of Fame. 11th pick Robert Horry played the 2nd most games from this class, 16 seasons. 1993, surprisingly, not Chris Webber, Penny Hardaway, or Sam Cassell, but Lindsey Hunter. Cassell played the most games, but Hunter 17 seasons, the 10th pick out of Jackson State, played for 5 different teams, 2 titles, one with the 02 Lakers, the other the 04 Pistons. Averaged double digits in scoring for 6 seasons, missed plenty of games the second half of his career. He was between the 8 to 15 best player in this draft. 1994, 2nd overall pick Jason Kidd, the best player in his class. Him and Juwan Howard each played 19 seasons, but Kidd played nearly 200 more career games. Since Howard stuck around forever in Miami, only suited up for 92 total games his last 3 seasons, more of a player coach at that point. While Kidd became a 10-time All-Star, made 6 All-NBA teams, 9-time All-Defensive teams, retired at 39 when he was still a useful player for the 2013 Knicks, the best career in his class. Despite Grant Hill being ruined by injuries in his prime, Hill did play 18 seasons, ended up playing the 3rd most games. 1995, the 5th pick Kevin Garnett, 21 total seasons, became the first player in the 90s to enter the league straight out of high school, tied with 3 other players in NBA history to play exactly 21 seasons, 2nd most all time. Garnett played against Robert Parrish and Devin Booker, a 43-year difference of age, one of the 5 best power forwards all time, 1,462 games, over 300 more than the 2nd most Kurt Thomas from his class, and Jerry Stackhouse, both of whom played 18 seasons. KG, the only Hall of Famer in his class so far. 1996, 13th overall pick Kobe Bryant, the first guard to come straight out of high school, spent all 20 seasons with the Lakers, played 46 more regular season games than Ray Allen. Since Kobe was banged up his last 3 seasons, the 18-time All-Star became one of the best players all time, 5-time champion, and arguably the best draft class ever. 4 others, Ray Allen, Derek Fisher, Steve Nash, and Jermaine O'Neal, played 18 seasons. Every one of them besides O'Neal played over 1,200 total games, while number 1 pick Allen Iverson just lasted 14 seasons and wasn't the same after his mid-30s. The 1997 draft, the best power forward all time, Tim Duncan, 1st overall pick, enjoyed a 19-year career, all with San Antonio, won 5 titles, made the playoffs every year, one of the most accomplished players all time, 1,392 career games. 3rd overall pick Chauncey Billups, played 17 seasons, 2nd most from that class, the only 2 to have reached the 1,000 game plateau. The 1998 draft, one of the most underrated classes all time, 2 guys in the top 4 in most games played, almost unheard of. Vince Carter played 22 seasons, Dirk Nowitzki 21, 1,541 and 1,522 games, over 3,000 combined. Dirk had way better playoff success and the better all-time player. Carter made history in 2020, becoming the first player to play 22 seasons and suit up in uniform for 4 different decades. Dirk almost played nearly 5,000 minutes. While Carter became a role player for the second half of his career, while Dirk was still awesome till 2016. Not to mention Paul Pierce, drafted right after Dirk, played 19 seasons, 1,343 games, and the second best player in this class. These 3 guys, the 5th, 9th, and 10th pick, will be future Hall of Famers, likely the only ones to get in from this draft. While 1st overall pick Michael Bus Olamacandy played just 9 total seasons, 500 regular season games, more than 3 times fewer than Dirk and Vince. The 1999 class, Jason Terry, the 10th pick, 19 seasons, a terrific role player, spent a lot of his career as a sixth man, played over 1,400 regular season games, scored the most points of anybody from his class, no all-time greats, but 9 total All-Stars. The Jets shockingly wasn't one of them, played till 40 years old in the 2018 season. 3 others in first pick Elton Brand, 8th pick Andre Miller, and 16th pick Ron Artest played 17 seasons. Manu Ginobili, just 16, since he didn't come into the league till 02-03, retired the same season as Terry. The 2000 class, Jamal Crawford, who's still seeking for one last comeback, played 19 seasons, 1,326 games and counting. The 8th pick, arguably the weakest class in modern history, Mike Miller lasted the second longest, 17 seasons, over 1,000 games. Crawford played 10,000 minutes more, while first pick Kenyon Martin played 15 seasons, only 757 games, injury prone throughout his career. 2001, to be determined between the 2nd and 3rd overall picks, Tyson, Chandler, and Pau Gasol. Since Chandler said he's retiring after the 2020 season, 19 years in the league so far, and Gasol still seeking for a comeback, who's played 18 seasons since he was hurt all of 2020, while Joe Johnson played 17 years. Last played in 2018 for the Rockets, played the most games so far, 1,276 and counting. If Johnson does come back, he likely won't last more than a season. Tony Parker, 18 seasons as well. Gasol says he wants to come back, but after only playing 30 games in the 2018-19 season, if he plays in the 2021 season, he'll last the longest. Until now, Tyson Chandler played the most years, but Gasol easily played more basketball than Chandler, combined with his international resume. 2002 draft, Nene the last man standing. I didn't include Udonis Haslem since he was undrafted. 17 seasons for the Brazilian, the 7th overall pick, hasn't officially announced his retirement, but likely won't play again after being banged up in 2020, 965 career games, while Mike Dunleavy played 15 seasons, more games and more minutes. Nene missed all but one game in 05-06 after tearing his ACL, played just 16 games in 2008, while Tayshaun Prince only played 14 seasons, played the most games and most minutes out of anybody in this draft. Not a very good class. First overall pick Yao Ming, 8 seasons, career cut short due to injury. Amari just 14. Crazy to believe Yao made the Hall of Fame before Nene, Mike Dunleavy, and Amari retired. As for the 03 class, it'll be LeBron, since Kyle Korver's on the verge of retirement. Carmelo was almost out of the league for good before Portland picked him up. Likely won't have more than 2 more years left. It appears James can play till he's 40, while 2004 should be between Dwight Howard, Andre Iguodala, and Trevor Ariza, all 3 at the downsides of their careers, the only players from their class to play 16 seasons unless J.R. Smith gets picked up. 2005 draft, 4 players, 15 seasons and counting, Chris Paul, Marvin Williams, CJ Miles, and Lou Williams. Paul and Lou will still amazing. It'll likely be between those 2. Of all these players to be the last man standing from their class between 1980 to 2002, which one of these guys surprised you most? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe for more content, more good stuff coming soon. I love all of you. See you next time.